We are going to look at an unsolved murder of a young woman whose body was found right in the Queen's backyard.
An autopsy later on Tuesday. Incredibly, a body found on the Queen's estate in Sandringham. The cause of death not yet known. Royal correspondent Max Foster joining me now from London with more on that. How bizarre, Max.
Absolutely, a real murder mystery, isn't it? Apparently, a dog walker discovered some human remains on the estate on New Year's Day, and that's where this investigation started. Just to give you a sense of this estate, it is the Queen's country estate where she stays at Christmas. She's staying there currently, but it's 20,000 acres. It's absolutely vast. There are villages within this estate, so it is open to the public in many places. Only around the house is it very private and secure, and this happened about a mile away from the main gates to the house, so it is in the Queen's backyard, you could say.
It is in the Queen's backyard. This was a private part of the Queen's property, not a public part.
This is what the police told us about it earlier this morning.
I think the circumstances indicate that she is probably the victim of murder. The body has been in situ for some time, but again, the experts are here to establish exactly what that time frame is.
Here is a picture of the young woman who died. She is Latvian. She came to the UK around 2009 with her family. Immediately after her remains were found, a murder inquiry began. The police initially reported, quote, "The circumstances suggest this is a murder case, and we are looking at missing persons reports and cold cases both locally and nationwide." The body was found in a wooded area on farmland at the royal estate. Of course, the Queen refused to comment on it and said Buckingham Palace would not comment on the discovery, saying it was a matter for Norfolk police. Now, here's what's interesting. She may have been working for the for the royal family, because the police said people who organized events at Sandringham last summer are being asked to get in touch with detectives. Police say they are particularly keen to talk to people who organized events at Sandringham between 30th of August and 6th of September. So we're going to look at that. But people who organized events at Sandringham would obviously know who was hired to do the work. In this picture, does it not look like she could be getting ready to be a server? In addition to that, according to the human trafficking statistics, Latvia in 2010 and 2011 and Latvia to the UK was a massive, thoroughway for human trafficking for both sexual purposes and labor as well. In a profile of the teenager released by the police, officers said she enjoyed swimming outside and makeup, the latest fashions, and going out with friends. Alyssa was a really confident girl with many friends. She enjoyed using computers to keep in touch with her friends in Latvia. I wonder what she was using computers for. She was happy to come to England, I wonder, and had planned to be a beautician. The site where Alyssa's body was found is regularly used for pheasant and partridge shoots by the royal family. Now listen to this. She was identified by comparing detail from her palm with records. The police essentially at some point exhausted and gave up the investigation, but some of the findings that they made are very telling. For example, they found a car. You'll see later on in the reading, it's a green Lexus, a very, very fancy car that she was seen in at some point. Well, they found it in a scrapyard. And so one of the things that they were doing was they were trying to figure out if maybe her body was transported in that car. Well, no, they didn't find any evidence of that. They were looking at some of the unusual spores, mushroom spores that they mentioned were extremely unusual. So that's no surprise because of all the unusual things that are grown on the royal estate. But this was found on the body. There wasn't anything in the car to match that up. So it's eminently clear that she was on the property, killed on the property. Now, one thing that is extremely unfair, they are agreeing that there's no possible way that she could have been there longer than, at the earliest, August 2011, and it could have been much later. She was only found, January 1st. So, they wouldn't state how long she had been there, but you can be darn well sure that they have a very good idea. Her body was in good enough shape that they were able to identify her by palm print. So, and there is no possible way in that case that the coroner could have been telling the truth when they said, would you believe, that they said that the body is far too composed for them to determine anything. Now, at the same time, the police, right up to the day that they exhausted the investigation and from the very beginning, were certain that it was a murder, a case of a murder. And, they just kept repeating this over and over. Detectives do not believe the victim died of natural causes and are treating the case as a murder. So what bothers me is, in that case, they must have seen the injury or the weapon. And so there is so much that there is a lot of reason to believe that the coroner is lying. Now, the reason that I think that she may have been working for the royal family, maybe at some event sometime between August and December of 2011. First of all, I'd like you to look at what she's wearing right now. This is not a sexy dress. What this is, it's slightly sexy, but the white blouse, for anyone who's worked in the restaurant industry, especially with if you're being a server, just serving hors d'oeuvres, it's always white crisp blouse, black skirt. She is not dressed up to go out here. Not at all. The other reason why I think that she was working on the Sandringham estate is because of what the police are saying. Have a listen to this quote. Detectives hope that employees of the Queen, including workers and grooms at her nearby stud farm, can help the investigation, but do not expect to question the royal family. Why the hell not? Anyway, the royals celebrated Christmas at Sandringham, including hosting a shooting party in the field beside the corpse on December 28, 2011, 4 days before her body was found. Detective Chief Inspector Jess Fry of the Norfolk and Suffolk Police Major Investigation Team insisted the missing teenager was one of several potential lines of inquiry. A post-mortem examination by Home Office pathologist Dr. Nat Carey was unable to find a cause of death for the woman but concluded it was highly unlikely she had died of natural causes. Now, just listen to this thing. And this is the reason why I want you to look at how she's dressed. And two other things. Her cell phone pinged in a parking lot near Sandringham Estate on the night that she went missing. And the last ping, the last location was on Sandringham Estate. So, you got to wonder. Anyway, just listen to this. Norfolk police said yesterday, we would like to identify people who may have worked in that area or were involved in organizing or running any specific events that may have taken place, initially concentrating from the end of August to the end of September 2011. Why? Because she was probably working, serving food or something at one of these events in this outfit. Now, it's interesting that the police immediately said that it was a murder. Listen to this. So, the Royals celebrated Christmas at Sandringham. This is exactly where she was found, okay? Including hosting a shooting party in the field beside the corpse on December 28, 4 days before the body was found. Now, the question is, if the police, upon looking at the body, immediately knew that it was a woman, a girl, immediately knew that it was a murder, how on earth could the body have been that badly decomposed? Anyway, all right, let's have a look at the cards. By the way, in that article, it says, I don't know if I've already said this, but the Royals celebrated Christmas at Sandringham, including hosting a shooting party in the field beside the corpse on December 28th. A shooting party? I mean, that's so inappropriate. That sounds absolutely corrupt as it is. That's not regular hunting. They're saying a shooting party. Anyway, let's have a look at the cards. All right, so do any of the royal family's guests at Sandringham on the Christmas of 2011 or whenever that shooting party was, do any of them recall that woman? So they're all denying a truth, pretending not to see something. There's the body. Do any of them recall? Notice that we have the Two of Swords, which is very often someone sticking their head in the sand, just turning a blind eye, going into denial, pretending it's not true. They didn't see it. I didn't see anything. The Ten of Swords there in that deck is called Ruin. Now, there's something interesting here. There are 10 swords in the Ten of Swords and 2 swords in the Two of Swords. We've got the number 12, which is the month of December. I do think that this may have happened on that shooting party night. Seeing that woman earlier, do any of them recall seeing her up and alive? So that woman in the Seven of Cups who is standing back on, I feel that she's a little bit shocked. She's, oh. And what she's doing is she's looking at sort of a ghost. In other words, she's remembering. Now, what that means, I think, is that whoever that woman is right there, I believe she was there. I believe she saw the young woman who was murdered, and I believe she spoke to her, but I do not think until the news reports came out that the body was found, I do not think that she knew that the woman had been murdered, but she remembers her being on the grounds, and she's shocked. She could be in a panic, whoever it is. Maybe it's Kate, who knows? What I meant by that is perhaps on January 2nd or 3rd, when this hit the news that the body was found, that woman in the Seven of Cups could be going, oh my God, it was that girl. So, that when I said that could be Kate, it could be Kate remembering, oh dear, I saw her, she was a server, something like that. I also feel that an additional meaning to this, I think this also means that somebody here is shocked. So this could also be a person who did know about it, and is shocked that someone was looking for her, or that she was found. And that Ten of Swords in this deck says ruin. So that could be somebody worried about the royal family being ruined or them being ruined. Now, you know that sometimes, so that's dead, the Ten of Swords. And the Four of Swords is sort of not dead, they're meditating. This could be somebody who is shocked that that woman was dead. Maybe they just, had a romp with her in the grass, and didn't realize. Maybe it was somebody who was really loaded and strangled her or something and didn't know it. But somebody could have been incredibly drunk, and could be shocked because they didn't realize that they actually killed her. It could be something like that. The other thing is, with that Five of Pentacles, that is a person who's missing. So maybe what we're about to see is that Kate remembers seeing her. Show me, did any of them recall there was some kind of somebody may have paid money? I actually think that is not a payment of money, although she could have been working, the young lady. I think that's a hand holding a silver platter. I think she was a server. And the person, the woman in the Seven of Cups is remembering, oh, that was the server. That's what I'm thinking. Because in a minute, just a moment now, I'm going to shut myself up. Money? Maybe she was working there. It's possible that she was working there. Maybe I'm seeing. It's funny. It took me that long to get it, but I do believe that she was working there, serving as some kind of a very low ranking server. And that woman may recall the young lady walking off into another direction. What happened? You'll note that I was accidentally asking about December 31st, which is probably why I'm getting the Fool and Judgment, and that would be somebody whose soul has gone up to heaven. Judgment is the last card. Oh, shoot, no, it's not. It's the World. Maybe her soul hasn't ascended. Yikes. Anyway, as you can see, there's a problem with this, with me asking about December 31st, but we'll get over it. What happened on December 31st? What happened on December 31st to this woman? Yeah, judgment. I mean, this could be fireworks here. What was she doing? Why did her phone ping on Sandringham? Why did her phone ping? Because there was some kind of a contract. A lot of naked people there. Why did her phone ping at Sandringham? She was invited. There was a proposal here regarding a contract. Why did her phone ping at Sandringham? No, there is a proposal. And I mean, it could have been this, this is like military. It could have been from cancer or why did her phone ping? She may have used it to call a cab or something. Why did her phone ping? There's either Charles or William or some other water sign. She may have taken some sort of a risk regarding a male water sign because she messaged a King of Cups. So, because she messaged a King of Cups. And that message has been hidden or concealed. Why did her phone ping at Sandringham? Looks like there was some kind of a payment of money under the table or an offer. Why did her phone ping? All right, so she might have been working there. What was she doing? Why was she at Sandringham? Why was she even on the property? She could have been standing there waiting or expecting something or watching. Why was she on the property? It was a contract. Maybe there's some kind of an agreement to watch. No, it has to. She was on the property because of a King of Cups. It's a contract. The Empress could be a Taurus lady. Maybe she was babysitting for... I hate to say it, but I think she was on the property because of a Queen, a Taurus, which is right there in my right hand, and a Scorpio who should be ashamed of himself, who was at that point passed away. That could be why we were getting Judgment and the Seven of Cups. And I do believe that Seville died very shortly before this. He died in 2011. I'm pretty sure he died before December, okay? But he could have been on the property because this, remember, she came from Latvia. And all of a sudden she's working, serving tables for nothing. Anyway, it's just, there's not a lot, there's conflicting information about why she was there. But remember, she was only 17. Listen to this. I'm reading from Wiki. Latvia is a source and destination country for men and women trafficked for the purposes of commercial sexual exploitation and forced labor. Latvian women are trafficked to Cyprus, Denmark, Germany, Greece, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Spain, and the United Kingdom for commercial sexual exploitation. Latvian women and teenage girls, that's what she is, are also trafficked within the country. It goes on and on. Let's see how she got from Latvia to the UK. Because I'm getting a contract here of work. Show me. And her mother was saying all these crazy things. Nothing that her mother said made sense. Show me how does this young Latvian woman get from Latvia to the United Kingdom? How did she get, she's exchanged. This is work. This is employment. But there's an exchange here though. How did she get, oh my God, that is the Queen. That's Queen Elizabeth. That's how she got there. That's how she got there. Something being managed by the Queen. Show me how that Latvian woman got from Latvia a contract with the Queen. Oh my God, my heart is racing. A contract with a Taurus queen. Queen Elizabeth II was a Taurus queen. I think she was working that night there, or paid to do something. All right, I'm going to try something a little bit different. The person that murdered that woman, the person that murdered the young woman, the person that murdered the young woman, how is that person thinking and feeling right now? The person that murdered her, how is that person thinking and feeling right now? Wow. Well, what they're thinking about is that there's someone around them who's raising their sword. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? There was some kind of a plan. Ooh. What they're thinking and feeling is that there's a woman here who is saying, you better follow the plan. This is a map, and that's the territory. No joke. No joke. That person might be consulting with someone about a contract or about strategy or something. They could be talking to a lawyer. I mean, there is a giant high priestess secret. That person is consulting with someone about how to hide something. Maybe there were bodies hidden in walls. They're trying to figure out how to hide something. The other thing that they're trying to do is figure out, how do we get someone, like this is somebody who doesn't speak, right? It's a woman. She doesn't speak. There could be some legal expert here explaining, well, legally, here's how we require this person to shut up. Or legally, am I immune? Somebody could be explaining to them. Somebody's giving them professional advice. Let's see what that person is saying. Maybe that person does not have immunity. What is the advice that Queen of Swords? So the person that killed that woman, what is the Queen of Swords saying to the person that killed? Oh my God, there's the family. Okay. They're talking about the car, I think. So that's the royal property. There's something about the location of the body, whether it was in front of some water or over it, or maybe that somebody was supposed to, that could be a car. Maybe someone was supposed to drive that, maybe that green Lexus. Maybe someone was supposed to take the body off the estate. Or what they're worried about. Sometimes the chariot is military, police. That's the family estate. I know exactly what's going on. The person who killed that woman is getting legal advice, and they're trying to figure out how to keep the authorities off the land because of the high priestess, because there's so many bloody secrets that they've got. What is the Queen of Swords saying to the murderer? Oh my God, you're screwed. The family is ruined. Queen of Swords is saying it's the dawn of a new day. In other words, illusions are over with. See, they could be trying to figure out, there's probably a ton of more bodies. And the problem is when they start digging up children's bodies, they're not going to get beyond that. It could be 10-year-olds or something. They're not going to survive that. They've already tried to ruin that Latvian girl's reputation by saying that she was a sex worker or something. Yet we're getting the same cards that we got in the other deck, guys. We're right about this. Something has to be concealed, but not only that, the concealing in itself, it has to end. Somebody may be trying to figure out how to get to witness protection. So what this other person could be saying is, for God's sakes, why are all these bodies all over the land? Why couldn't you put them in a coffin like a normal person? It's because they didn't respect these people. I just can't even think about it. I think that Queen of Swords could be some kind of a legal person. I think she's just telling the murderer, you're an asshole. I think she's saying, she's saying that the queen might have gotten away with it. That's a Taurus. Or that the queen ignored it or something. See, we have an emperor and an empress here. I think what that Queen of Swords is doing is she's giving a king overall advice on something. And I think one of the things that the Queen of Swords is saying is she's saying, in order for you to be able to rule, you need an empress. And that empress, I think, is in the Ten of Swords. This is not Queen Elizabeth here. I think this is Kate. And so I think what she's explaining to somebody is that the emperor cannot function without the empress. So what is that Queen of Swords saying? What is that? What legal advice? Oh, she's giving it. Yeah, you can't function. There you are. You think you can do this on your own, Dodo Head? What is that Queen of Swords saying to the emperor? What is that Queen of Swords saying to the emperor? You're evil. You get the idea. There's an evil plan here. I think what is the murderer? What is the murderer thinking and feeling right now, there's a truth. Yeah, somebody is playing both sides. Somebody's a cheater. Someone was giving to the wrong side. Someone breadcrumbed. Somebody is just a financial idiot. Maybe, what did this person do? They paid someone to do something here. What did this person pay somebody to do? It's corruption. What did that person? They paid them to do their dirty work. Yeah, there's to spin a magic trick, to work magic. What was this? What was this dirty work magic? Somebody tricked somebody. It could be, that the young woman, the victim was tricked. They offered her, maybe she was offered, that could be the offer of a job or an offer of money, but it was some kind of a trick. What does, the Queen of Swords, how does she feel about how the murderer treated the victim? How does the Queen of Swords feel about how the murderer, well, this is abuse. This is really controlling someone and being very abusive. Over here, there's, somebody watching. There's some kind of a truth here. Someone was looking for them. What is that? I gotta see what that deal is there. What kind of a deal is being made there in the Three of Pentacles? What in the name of God is that? What's going on in the Three of Pentacles? Oh, I think it's, this is travel, see? And what's going on in the Three of Pentacles? Just a moment now. Oh, it's good. What's going on in the Three of Pentacles is somebody is investigating. Somebody's watching. It could be some kind of military, or somebody is watching. See, they're going to be forced. Somebody is going to force. Yes. Oh, wow. Excellent. What the Queen of Pentacles is saying is, I'm sorry. You're going to have to allow that land to be inspected. And it's probably because of these kinds of things. This inspector, if they filed an affidavit, if this is somebody who wants to look at the lands, look at the lands. And as you know, the King Charles, in June of 2023, all his courtiers were doing, it was just the Welsh government. They had the rest of the UK under control. But the Welsh government was they almost got a piece of legislation passed that would have allowed people to come on and inspect the land. And I think what's happening right now is somebody is figuring out a way of doing up some sort of an affidavit. And the reason why now that they have enough grounds to come on and inspect the land now. This woman was murdered. She was murdered. And maybe what's been discovered is that she was working she doesn't have to be working directly for the royal family. Maybe they had some, subsidiary caterer, and the caterer maybe hired servers. You know how it goes. When you work for a caterer, you don't know where. You might end up at a really fancy event. So you don't really know where. When you get called in, you don't know where you're going to be serving. So now, I think what's happening here is somebody, I do feel like there's an international lawman. There is a truth seeker here. It's somebody who is very wise, and they're taking their time. They're taking their time. And that could be that King of Pentacles that comes up every now and then, and I can't match it with anyone. It could also be the King of Swords. Because he could be on the cusp of, he could be a late September Virgo. So he could be on the cusp of Libra and Virgo. Look, all I can say is I think this is very hopeful. That young lady, that was a real person. That's just like, just think of your daughter or your niece, or, you know, just think of a little girl that you love. That little girl just came into this world just wanting to be loved, wanting to, you know, wanting to take part and hoping that other people were happy that she was there. She wanted to learn something. You know, she was met with a lot of, if you look at the pictures of her online, they're a little bit sad. She's trying to look sexy, you know, and she's just a little girl. And she was murdered. And I'm telling you, if any of the royal family are listening, the fact that you just said, well, just leave it up to the police. Where was the statement of, I feel bad, I'm so sorry for her mother. Why didn't you come out and talk to the police? You cowards. You cowards. Now let's all say a prayer for this person, this patient truth seeker. Patience, look at this. Actually, I think he's being guided by Archangel Michael in spirit. I'll tell you what we're going to pray right now. Please, God, please allow every single person in this world to love themselves and love each other the way that we love our animals. If you could, the most empathy and love and passion and care, you know, concern that you could have for, just think of that. I know everyone has somebody or some little creature that you really love. Now let's pray that other people feel like that too, toward animals and toward young women and young boys, especially children, and because that is what Kate always said. Amen. I'm very appreciative for you guys. Thank you so much. Let's pray that the truth comes out for this young lady. Okay, love you guys.